In the peaceful countryside of Hunan Province, China, there is a pork processing plant that operates daily in a very unique way. Not the dusty, noisy traditional slaughterhouses you might imagine, but here, everything runs under a closed, modern system, resembling a high-tech hub. And the man behind this modern system is Mr. Li, the director who has devoted his life to researching and contributing to the development of China's pork processing industry. Today, let's step inside his facility and witness how each pig is transformed into safe, clean, and internationally certified food products. Spanning more than 50,000 square meters, Mr. Li's pork processing plant is divided into clearly defined zones. Each area is carefully organized to ensure smooth transportation of meat, creating a flexible and fully closed production line. Inside, the space is bright and spotless, illuminated by pure white ceiling lights. Every employee wears protective gear, masks, and undergoes sterilization before starting their shift. From early morning, the first batch of pigs meeting quality standards is delivered to the reception area. Each animal moves along an automated conveyor belt, closely monitored by staff. Every motion is calculated to minimize noise and reduce stress for the animals. Immediately afterward, the entire process, from part separation, cutting, to packaging, requires almost no direct human intervention. Everything is handled by robotic systems and automated saws, performing each step with millimeter precision. While the machines work efficiently below, AI-powered cameras scan from above. This technology, introduced by Mr. Li in recent years, leverages the rapid growth of artificial intelligence. AI analyzes every detail of the meat, color, elasticity, fat-to-lean ratio. This allows workers to classify and label high-quality cuts while removing those that don't meet standards, ensuring nothing subpar makes it to packaging. We apply a humane, quick, and precise slaughtering method so that no animal suffers prolonged pain, shared Mr. Li when asked about the plant's most unique feature. And indeed, within just 3 hours from the moment a pig enters the factory, it is transformed into vacuum-sealed, deep-chilled packs neatly stored in the cold warehouse. No stage interrupted. No link delayed. Yet despite near-total automation, the pork industry still carries risks. A single mistake in sanitation or machine handling can lead to serious workplace accidents. Even worse, outbreaks such as African swine fever, which once forced China to cull millions of pigs, prove that without strict biosecurity, even the most advanced production chain could be paralyzed overnight. To achieve such high-quality output, a tightly linked system of modern pig farms is indispensable. About 500 meters east of the factory, Mr. Lee's farm raises thousands of pigs under conditions that blend natural environments with high-tech systems. Just like the processing plant, the farm combines traditional livestock methods with advanced technology. The environment is kept airy and clean, with automated water and feed supply systems ensuring the highest possible health and safety for the pigs. Beyond farming, the pigs undergo strict health monitoring. Feed sources are carefully controlled, and veterinarians conduct regular inspections. Each pig carries an electronic ID tag, making it easy to track its entire life cycle until transport to the plant. The ultimate result of this modern farming and production cycle is delicious dishes served at family tables. Today, many small restaurants in the area source their meat directly from Mr. Lee's factory, preparing a wide variety of dishes from everyday meals to fine dining. Each slice of tender, flavorful pork, meeting strict food safety standards, is turned into dishes such as braised pork belly, dumplings, or golden grilled skewers. Beyond supplying local shops, markets, and eateries, pork from Mr. Lee's plant is also exported to demanding international markets such as the European Union and several Asian countries. The story of Mr. Lee's farm and processing plant not only inspires young farmers aspiring to build sustainable livestock models but also marks a breakthrough in 4.0 food production technology, delivering safe, clean food to people by combining traditional expertise with modern machinery. As dawn breaks over Uganda's rural landscapes, a new day begins. But for women farmers here, these are the happiest days, as the sound of pigs squealing in meat pens has replaced the silence and despair of failed seasons. There were times when they thought of abandoning pig farming altogether. Every outbreak of illness meant near zero income. Then change arrived. A joint project by PIC, Vetline, and Abacus Bio reached their villages. Beyond new technologies, this collaboration brought renewed hope, giving Ugandan women farmers a chance to rise through modern, advanced farming methods. So how exactly has this effort transformed pig farming in Uganda? Let's find out in today's video. At the farm of a woman named Grace, the camera captured a breakthrough moment. She was practicing artificial insemination under the guidance of Vetline's veterinary engineers. Instead of natural mating, processed PIC boar semen, carefully treated and stored in cold preservation, was inserted directly into the sow's uterus using a specialized catheter. This ensures faster and more effective conception. Alongside the new breeding method, Grace follows expert advice to check sow health, track reproductive cycles with simple techniques, and carefully manage pen temperatures to reduce stress, all under Vetline's professional supervision. keep everything organized, Grace records all data, from insemination dates, number of attempts, to results, into Abacus Bio's Trio platform. This data-driven approach makes herd management far more scientific and efficient. 1. For Grace, this is a true blessing. Her farm was originally built on minimal capital, with very limited infrastructure. Every day, she collected crop byproducts and maize bran to feed her pigs. Her pig pens were basic, simple wooden beams, bamboo poles, or rough brick walls, without modern equipment like climate control systems or ventilation machines. As a result, Grace and many young Ugandan farmers often struggled with poor productivity, weak breeds, diseases, and limited market access. But with artificial insemination introduced by PIC, Vetline, and Abacus Bio, even the humblest farms can now rise by applying just a little advanced technology. At Mary's farm, just a short distance away, the harmony between modern technology and traditional pig care is even more visible. Her pens are divided into clear zones, for breeding sows, piglets, and fattening pigs. In addition to using Abacus Bio's Trio data platform, Mary also invested in 24/7 surveillance cameras across her pig houses. This allows her to continuously monitor health and behavior changes, making management more scientific and efficient. The results? Her pigs grew faster than the old breeds, significantly reducing feeding days and cutting overall costs. According to project reports, within just a few months of rolling out this new technology in rural Uganda, over 1,000 PIC pigs were inseminated across 1,029 farms in 48 districts, producing more than 2,000 litters, with 34% of participating farmers being women, a powerful signal that farmers can reinvest, expand scale, and move beyond subsistence. When pigs reach market weight, Ugandan farmers bring them to licensed slaughter facilities where every step follows strict procedures. First, pigs undergo a full health check to ensure no signs of illness. Disinfection systems are in place to maintain hygiene and prevent cross-contamination. The meat is then processed, cut into portions, chilled rapidly to preserve natural freshness, and vacuum packed according to international food safety standards. Thanks to PIC genetics, the pork now shows a clear difference: leaner cuts, firmer texture, richer flavor, and higher levels of protein, iron, zinc, and vitamin B12. No wonder PIC pork has become a favorite on restaurant menus, from Kampala to major supermarkets. Reflecting on this remarkable collaboration between PIC, Vetline, and Abacus Bio, we can envision a future of comprehensive, sustainable development for Uganda's pig farming sector. This project has not only improved productivity but also empowered young women in agriculture, shining through the stories of farmers like Grace and Mary. If you enjoyed today's video, drop us a comment below, hit like, share, and subscribe, and don't miss our upcoming stories. A crisis is silently erupting behind the gates of farms. African swine fever, a virus with no cure, no control, has now crossed national borders, spiraled beyond restraint, and morphed into a global crisis, wiping out billions of dollars in the global agriculture industry. To grasp the severity of this disease, let's trace its outbreak, explore its transmission mechanisms, and examine the profound impacts it's unleashing. Just a few years ago, pig farms were the beacon of hope for thousands of households dreaming of prosperity. Vast rows of pens, state-of-the-art equipment, and thousands of meticulously raised pigs awaited their day to be sold, promising substantial profits. But in a short span of time, everything changed. African swine fever silently erupted, leaving entire farms in desolation. This is a virus known as ASF. It can survive for up to 1,000 days in frozen meat and weeks in feces or waste. It clings to tires, clothing, tools, feed, turning everything into a vector for transmission. A single infected pig can lead to the culling of an entire farm of thousands. First documented in 1921 in Kenya, the disease was once well contained in Africa. But since 2007, ASF has spread rapidly beyond the continent, starting in Georgia and sweeping through Europe, Asia, and, more recently, the Americas. As of 2025, over 50 countries have confirmed ASF outbreaks. According to the World Organization for Animal Health, the disease has caused global economic losses estimated to exceed $50 billion since 2018. With no treatment for ASF, there's no choice but to cull entire herds. But mass culling is far from simple. Some places burn the pigs right on the farm, while others resort to mass burials in deep pits layered with lime. It's truly a horrific catastrophe. According to statistics, China has culled over 200 million pigs since 2018 due to ASF, with direct economic losses estimated to exceed $25 billion, not to mention the ripple effects driving up global meat prices. In many regions, people refuse to eat pork out of fear of contamination. Pork prices have skyrocketed, pushing consumers toward chicken and fish, disrupting the food market's supply and demand. Meanwhile, fake meat, smuggled meat, and misinformation about tainted meat have spread rampant on social media, fueling widespread panic. Even worse, what if the virus mutates? Could it affect humans? While it doesn't directly infect humans, the World Health Organization has highlighted the risk of cross-disease transmission in unsanitary farming environments in numerous studies. Particularly during outbreak management, many workers handle dead pigs without proper protective equipment. Some suffer from skin ulcers, dermatitis, psychological trauma, or exhaustion from overwork. When mass burial pits overflow with rainwater, the risk of contaminating water sources, soil, and air becomes a genuine threat to public health. As of now, no vaccine for ASF has been officially approved for widespread use. Some experimental vaccines in China and Russia show promising signs, but years of clinical trials are still needed to ensure safety. For now, the only effective solution is prevention. At many large farms, biosecurity measures have been tightened to extreme levels: full-body disinfection upon entry and exit, isolated barn areas, strict control of feed and water sources, and minimal outside contact. Additionally, many countries have banned imports of live pigs or pork products from affected regions. Some companies have adopted closed-loop pig farming in greenhouses equipped with surveillance cameras and automated air filtration systems. Currently, the FAO, WOAH, and international research institutes are racing to develop next-generation vaccines, but urgent on-site solutions remain the top priority to protect the livestock industry. In a world where food safety is becoming an increasingly urgent concern, South Korea, a country known for its strict hygiene standards and advanced technology, is leading the way in building some of the cleanest and most modern food processing plants on the planet. Today, let's take a step inside one of South Korea's most advanced pork processing factories, where every step from slaughtering, butchering, and processing to packaging takes place in a spotless, closed-loop system, controlled down to the tiniest detail. And perhaps, you'll be amazed to discover that the delicious piece of grilled pork belly on your plate was made this way. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs of South Korea, each Korean consumes an average of 27-30 kilograms of pork per year, more than beef or chicken. Among pork products, pork belly, the nation's favorite barbecue cut, accounts for nearly 60% of total pork consumption in the country. In major cities like Seoul, Busan, and Daegu, nearly every street has at least one barbecue restaurant. For Koreans, eating grilled pork is more than a meal, it's a tradition. It happens during holidays, on dates, company gatherings, birthdays, or simply as a way to unwind after a long day at work. With such massive demand, Korea's pork farming and processing industry has seen heavy investment, ensuring products are not only safe and efficient but also exceptionally fresh from farm to table. As you can see, inside these factories, biosecurity starts right at the door, almost to a perfect degree. Before entering the production line, every employee must undergo thorough disinfection, changing into sterilized protective gear from head to toe, passing through high-pressure air showers to eliminate dust, disinfecting hands using UV light and medical-grade sanitizers. And it doesn't stop there. Air inside the facility is strictly controlled for temperature, humidity, and pressure to prevent bacteria, dust, and odors from spreading between zones. A standout feature of pork processing in South Korea is its strict adherence to humane slaughter practices, following standards set by the American Veterinary Medical Association. Instead of traditional direct slaughter, pigs are gently rendered unconscious using CO2 gas, causing them to lose awareness without pain or panic. From there, bloodletting and cleaning are carried out swiftly using specialized machinery. Thanks to cutting-edge technology, the entire slaughter process happens in an enclosed space, no splattered blood, no screams, and most importantly, the meat is kept hygienic from the very first second. After humane slaughter, the pork moves onto an automated conveyor system for processing. Industrial robot arms take over the initial butchering, separating carcasses into large sections such as half-cuts, shoulders, ribs, and hind legs. Every motion is driven by algorithms based on data like body weight and structure, ensuring perfect speed and accuracy every time. But what truly sets this factory apart isn't just the tech, it's the skilled hands of master butchers. Once the robots complete their rough cuts, human workers take over for fine butchering using traditional techniques, trimming fat, tendons, and skin with razor-sharp blades, slicing pork belly to reveal balanced, beautifully marbled strips, cutting shoulder meat to preserve every firm, intact fiber, categorizing rib cuts, jowl meat, ham, and more according to Korean culinary standards. Finally, the meat is immediately vacuum sealed and transferred into deep freeze storage before distribution. Just picture this: golden, sizzling pork belly on a grill, served with kimchi, fresh greens, garlic, Korean soybean paste, and a chilled glass of soju. That's the iconic samgyeopsal, loved by Koreans everywhere, anytime. Its overwhelming popularity has driven the pork processing industry forward, creating a lightning-fast, high-tech, and incredibly safe supply chain like never before. Delicious pork belly is not only due to the marinade, but also comes from a clear origin, a meticulous cutting process to keep the fat marbling beautiful, and is preserved in the most ideal conditions. Can you believe it? There are farms in the US with impressive revenue, estimated to reach tens of millions of dollars each year, all from ostrich farming. An animal originally associated with the African deserts has now become the master of a multi-million-dollar industry in the land of the free. So, how have these farmers managed to generate such huge income? Join us as we step into the world of an ostrich farm, where American farmers are diligently caring for hundreds of these magnificent birds, to uncover the answer. Spanning across hundreds of hectares, the ostrich farm is scientifically designed with various sections, ranging from breeding, egg incubation to processing, all of which operate according to a logical and modern standard procedure. In the early morning, hundreds of ostriches are released from their enclosures and stride freely across the open fields. The ostrich breed raised in the US is primarily the African ostrich, weighing between 100 to 150 kilograms. They have a significant advantage with their long, muscular legs, enabling them to run at speeds of up to 70 km/h faster than a slow-moving motorcycle. If well cared for, an ostrich can live for more than 40 years. Thanks to a comprehensive strategy that capitalizes on the meat, eggs, skin, feathers, and byproducts, along with professional management techniques, Ostrich Farm has reached annual revenues in the tens of millions of US dollars. It can be said that this is not just a simple agricultural model, but a true industry that generates immense value. When asked about the differences in ostrich care compared to other animals, the farm staff shared that these birds have a much simpler diet. Grass, grains, or vegetables, common and inexpensive foods, are enough to help an ostrich grow healthy and strong. However, with their wild instincts and a height that can reach up to 2.8 meters for male ostriches, the farmers at Ostrich Farm are forced to build sturdy fences strong enough to limit their movement. The ostrich's habit of moving quickly and nimbly makes controlling them a task that requires great patience. During the breeding season, typically from December of the previous year to August or September of the following year, the farmers must pay extra attention. Some ostriches experience difficulty while laying eggs, requiring farmers to assist by gently helping with the birth to ensure the eggs are laid smoothly without damage. The ostrich eggs are then stored at a stable temperature in specialized egg storage units before being transferred to the incubators, to prevent cracking or embryo damage. However, the economic benefits of raising ostriches are immense. On average, an ostrich can provide 30 to 50 kilograms of lean meat per year. This meat is highly valued by nutritionists for being rich in protein, low in cholesterol, and suitable for those on a diet. Despite their seemingly gentle appearance, there have been numerous occasions when the farmers at Ostrich Farm found themselves unexpectedly confronting these birds. In the wild, if an ostrich senses potential danger, its natural instinct for self-defense immediately kicks in. With legs as strong as steel, a single kick from an ostrich is powerful enough to take down the lion. Its claws, which can grow up to 10 centimeters long, can even inflict serious injuries on humans if they get too close. As a result, the farmers at ostrich farm undergo thorough training before they interact directly with the ostriches. The most important rule is to maintain a safe distance. They may use long sticks, shields, or auxiliary fences to guide the bird's movement when necessary. In cases where it is absolutely necessary to approach, they do so from behind or from the side, avoiding direct eye contact, as this could be interpreted as a provocative gesture by the bird. If an ostrich becomes panicked and attacks, the best course of action is to drop to the ground and protect the head, as ostriches typically do not tend to attack targets low to the ground. One of the most crucial stages in ostrich farming is egg laying and incubation. A mature female ostrich can lay between 40 to 100 eggs each year. Ostrich eggs are the largest among modern bird species, weighing between 1.2 to 1.8 kilograms, which is 20 times heavier than a chicken egg. With their strong instinct to protect their eggs, farmers must take safety precautions when collecting ostrich eggs. For example, they may install additional fencing to separate the parents, or wait until the birds leave to forage for food to collect the eggs. The eggs are then placed into modern industrial incubators, where temperature and humidity are carefully controlled to ensure a high hatch rate. Ostrich eggs are considered a valuable commodity, and can be sold for up to $50 per egg. Beyond breeding and consumption, they are used for various purposes, including as decorative items, in artistic carvings, and even for auction at special events. This is why ostrich eggs, whether they hatch or not, remain a highly marketable product. Not only focusing on breeding, ostrich farm also emphasizes the processing stage, which requires strict standards and high compliance. When the ostriches reach the appropriate market age, they are transported to USDA-approved slaughter facilities, where they are processed in a humane manner to minimize stress. The ostrich meat then goes through various stages, including separating the meat, skin, feathers, and internal organs, quality checks, and packaging. The entire process is closely monitored, with sterilized equipment and modern waste management systems, meeting the high standards required for export to demanding markets such as Europe and Japan. While the meat and eggs provide a steady income for American farmers, ostrich leather has become the goldmine of this industry. Ostrich leather is a premium material used in the production of luxury goods such as shoes, handbags, and high-end car interiors. A full hide can be worth up to $500. In particular, luxury brands like Prada and Hermes have used ostrich leather in their limited edition collections, significantly increasing its commercial value. The owner of Ostrich Farm himself has admitted that the revenue from ostrich leather has far exceeded their expectations, surpassing even the income from meat and eggs. In addition to breeding and processing, ostriches are also frequently the main attraction at cultural and entertainment events in the area. Ostrich Farm participates annually in ostrich racing competitions held at agricultural fairs or sports stadiums. Their goal for participating is not only to contribute to tourism revenue but also to promote their ostrich products. From processing, fashion, and cosmetics to tourism, American farmers, such as those at Ostrich Farm, have turned ostriches into a multi-million-dollar industry every year. Behind this dazzling success is a long journey of nurturing, care, risk management, and smart business strategies. Once labeled as crop destroyers, these animals have now become million-dollar assets. From untamed jungles to high-tech farms across Southeast Asia, wild boars are being domesticated and turned into a bold new path in agriculture. In today's video, we'll dive into a model that's leaving the global farming world astonished: the multi-million-dollar wild boar farms of Southeast Asia. How do they actually work? In many Western countries, wild boars are seen as dangerous pests. They destroy crops, cause traffic accidents, and spread diseases to livestock. In the US alone, the economic damage caused by wild boars is estimated at $2.5 billion per year. But in Southeast Asia, where the cuisine, soil conditions, and ecosystems are more compatible, people have discovered a different kind of value. Wild boars can become a high-value livestock if managed properly. By crossbreeding wild boars with domestic pigs, farmers have developed hybrid wild boars that retain the firm, flavorful meat of their wild ancestors but are easier to raise, more disease-resistant, and reproduce more consistently. This has become a major turning point, making wild boar farming economically viable. With meat prices twice as high as conventional pork, and breeders selling for hundreds of dollars per pig, this model creates steady revenue from both meat and breeding stock. As of 2024, the commercial wild boar meat output in Southeast Asia is estimated at 50,000 to 70,000 tons per year, with average prices ranging from $7 to $12 per kilogram. This translates to an industry-wide annual revenue of $400, $800 million, factoring in commercial meat, breeding pigs, value-added processed products, and agricultural byproducts. Wild boar farming in Southeast Asia has moved far beyond traditional methods. It now combines semi-wild, controlled environments with modern technology to ensure productivity and biosecurity. Typically, farms are divided into multiple zones: a free-range area for natural movement and development, a separate breeding zone for genetic safety and control, a recovery and care section with automated temperature and humidity systems. Feed consists mainly of natural ingredients, using locally sourced crops or agricultural waste like corn and vegetables, supplemented with minerals and plant-based proteins. Herd management systems are becoming increasingly advanced, utilizing traceability software and individual health monitoring sensors. Each pig is tagged, making it easy to track, identify, and manage with precision. The flavor of wild boar meat is one of the main reasons for its rising popularity, especially in upscale restaurants and clean food markets. Compared to regular pork, wild boar meat has a richer taste, with a firm but tender texture. When cooked, it retains its sweetness and a signature aroma. Not only is it delicious, but it's also high in bioavailable protein, low in cholesterol, contains less white fat, and is rich in zinc and B vitamins. it's forecasted that by 2030, demand for premium and organic pork in Asia will double. As more consumers care about food origin and healthy diets, wild boar meat, with its lean profile, rich flavor, and high nutritional value, will gain even more traction. However, challenges remain: disease risks, particularly African swine fever, legal hurdles regarding hybrid breeds, price competition from cheap imported meat. But with strategic investment and the right market positioning, wild boars have the potential to become a cornerstone industry in Southeast Asian agriculture in the coming years. In recent years, avian influenza is no longer a rare phenomenon, but is becoming a global threat with an increasingly serious spread and impact. Previously, people often thought that avian influenza only affected domestic birds and poultry. However, what is happening around the world today has proven otherwise. The H5N1 virus and its variants such as H5N6, H7N9 are continuing to mutate, spreading not only within the livestock sector but also to wild animals, livestock, pets, and even humans. So, how serious is the avian influenza epidemic? And do we really understand the danger it brings? As of June 2025, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has recorded more than 174 million poultry affected by the H5N1 flu. In the U.S. alone, 51 states and Puerto Rico have recorded large outbreaks, leading to the destruction of millions of poultry. This is considered the largest and most damaging outbreak ever. Not only in the U.S., other countries are also facing similar threats. Canada, Argentina, Brazil, European countries, Asian countries, and even remote areas of South America have also reported cases of H5N1 infection in both poultry and wild animals. Notably, Brazil, the world's largest chicken exporter, has detected bird flu in commercial farms, causing a wave of import bans from many countries such as China, the European Union, Japan, etc. This has seriously affected the global supply chain. What is even more worrying is that the bird flu virus is no longer loyal to birds. The H5N1 virus has been detected in many mammals such as cats, dogs, seals, sea lions, and especially dairy cows. Experts say that when the virus has the ability to spread from birds to mammals, it means that it is gradually adapting to be able to spread to humans more easily. Specifically, since the beginning of 2024, there have been more than 70 cases of H5N1 avian influenza in humans, including at least one death. Since 2003, the World Health Organization has recorded a total of 972 cases of H5N1 infection in humans, with 470 deaths, equivalent to a mortality rate of about 48%. Although there have been no recorded cases of human-to-human transmission in the community so far, scientists believe that this possibility is entirely possible if the virus continues to mutate. Many experts have issued serious warnings. Martha Nelson, a famous virologist, commented that we are in an endless war with the avian influenza virus. The virus is gradually adapting, expanding its ability to spread, and even a small mutation can lead to a new global pandemic. The Global Virus Network has called on countries to strengthen epidemiological surveillance and be ready to act now to avoid a health disaster similar to COVID-19. The impact of bird flu is not only limited to the health aspect but also has a serious impact on the global economy. The mass culling of poultry has caused a serious decrease in the supply of eggs and chicken meat. Prices have skyrocketed in many countries, including the US and European countries. In some US states, humane livestock policies have even been suspended to ensure egg and food supplies for the people. For poultry exporting countries like Brazil, the import ban has caused billions of dollars in losses for businesses, leading to many consequences for workers and the global market. On the social side, the avian flu epidemic has shaken consumer confidence. Many people have limited their consumption of chicken, eggs and poultry products for fear of infection. Some areas with outbreaks have also recorded cases of cats and dogs being abandoned or destroyed because they were suspected of carrying the disease, causing a wave of controversy about ethics and animal rights. In that situation, countries have had to quickly deploy many measures to control the epidemic. One of the important solutions is active surveillance according to the One Health model, combining surveillance of humans, animals, and the environment. This surveillance system allows early detection of outbreaks and prevention before the virus has a chance to spread. However, not all countries have the capacity and resources to do so. In many developing countries, lack of funding and lack of specialized human resources means that surveillance data is limited, and the delay in responding to the epidemic is still very high. At the same time, developed countries are investing heavily in research and development of avian influenza vaccines. Canada has currently pre-ordered 500,000 doses of H5N1 vaccine from pharmaceutical company GSK. The European Union has signed contracts with many companies to produce and stockpile vaccines for millions of people. The United States has invested more than $70 million in developing vaccines and antiviral drugs. Several specific vaccines for poultry are also being tested and deployed in key epidemic areas. However, vaccines are not the only solution. Biosecurity measures on farms, animal quarantine, public awareness raising, and international cooperation in sharing data and technology are also key factors in controlling the epidemic. Without global cooperation, it is difficult to prevent a virus that is as fast spreading and adaptable as H5N1. Ultimately, avian influenza is no longer a problem of the livestock or health sectors alone. It is a global problem, requiring the participation of governments, experts, businesses, and individuals in society. The lesson from the COVID-19 pandemic remains valuable: prevention is always cheaper than cure. And if we don't act now, when bird flu does break out in humans, the cost could be much more dire. High in the remote Andes Mountains of South America, there exists a rare fiber often called the fiber of the gods. It comes from the vicuña, a sacred, endangered camelid whose fleece is the source of the most luxurious and expensive wool in the world. Harvesting this precious fiber is no simple task, and it has been the life's work of Don Pedro and his family for many years. What is his secret? How can one gather such a rare material while still protecting this revered animal of the Andes? Join us as we uncover the answer in today's video. Unlike domesticated sheep, vicuñas roam free in the wild, so their fleece cannot be harvested in the same way. Instead, communities perform the ancient chakra ritual, a collective roundup that allows their fiber to be taken without harming them. To corral these swift creatures requires deep knowledge, patience, and coordinated effort. One careless move during the herding process can injure both the animals and the farmers themselves. At over 4,000 meters above sea level, vicuñas roam vast open landscapes stretching across thousands of square kilometers. Unlike cattle or sheep, they are not raised in conventional farms. Instead, their natural environment itself is their farm, where they graze, breed, and grow freely. Although not confined, Don Pedro still manages the herds carefully. Most monitoring is done by direct observation. To keep them healthy, he avoids growth hormones and antibiotics, relying entirely on the balance of their natural habitat. This model follows the principle of non-interference. Rather than controlling their lives, the focus is on protection and sustainable management, ensuring both the preservation of the species and the exceptional quality of their fiber. Now let's follow Don Pedro as he harvests the vicuña's fleece. The process begins with the traditional Incan chakra ritual. Hundreds of villagers work together, forming a vast human chain to gently drive the vicuñas into temporary enclosures. Once inside, each animal is carefully restrained and quickly shorn using electric clippers. The process is designed to be as swift and stress-free as possible, ensuring no harm is done. After shearing, every vicuña is marked and immediately released back into the wild. The markings help communities track which animals have already been clipped, since each one can only be shorn once every 2 years. From the ritual to refinement, the vicuña's fleece undergoes a meticulous and complex production process before becoming luxury yarn. First, the raw fiber is hand-sorted according to color and fineness. The fleece from the back is the softest and most valuable. It is then gently cleaned to remove dust and impurities, a delicate process that must not damage the fragile fibers. The most crucial step is spinning. Fine strands are carefully drawn into ultra-thin yarn. Vicuña fibers average only 13 microns in diameter, among the softest in the world. This yarn is then woven into exquisite fabrics. For centuries, this fabric was reserved exclusively for Incan royalty. Today, it is used in luxury coats, scarves, and high-fashion garments. Creating just one sweater requires the fleece of 6 to 7 vicuñas, and such a garment can sell for anywhere from several thousand to tens of thousands of dollars. And yet, the local farmers who dedicate their lives to caring for and shearing these animals receive only a tiny fraction of this value, leaving many families still living in poverty despite their crucial role in the supply chain. From start to finish, the vicuña remains profoundly different from other domesticated animals. It retains its wild spirit and natural freedom. Thus, the story of vicuña fiber is not only about the rarest and most valuable wool on earth, but also a symphony between nature and humanity, where the efforts of farmers like Don Pedro lie not in building pens and barns, but in patience, resilience, and respect. What do you think about this remarkable animal? Share your thoughts in the comments below.